Today, I'm going to teach you how to build a blanket fort. Blanket forts are the coolest thing ever, and one good blanket fort equals an amazing night of fun. Whether you're a kid or an old head trying to keep kids busy, or you're old but you are also cool and just want to make a fort, then keep watching, and I will give you the best tips to make the most legendary blanket forts this world has ever seen. Let's get started. In this video, I will cover the following topics: materials, location, tips for blanket stabilization, the tunnel and room making process, and other miscellaneous tips. First off, you will need weights or any small heavy objects. First off, you will need weights or any small heavy objects will do, possibly tape. Also, you may want objects like chairs that are taller than you while sitting crisscross applesauce. And lastly, the key ingredients: blankets. Bed sheets are the best blankets to work with because of their size, and they are very, very light. You can work with anything though. One last thing, if you so choose, put in decorations like lights and TVs. Propping up blankets. This is the key ingredient to make sure you don't wake up covered in blankets. If your blanket propping technique is under par, you may face a consequence far worse than death: a ruined fort. I will help you to perfect your technique, but you must listen closely. Weights, tape, tush, and also stable objects to prop them on. These you will need. Firstly, with heavily weighted objects, when you weigh the blankets down using them, place them entirely on the blanket. Do not leave any hanging off the edge, or your blanket will have a further increased chance of slipping. Couches are the #1 thing to prop your blanket on. Okay, take your blanket in hand, place it on the part that you need weighted down. Now, take your weight and place it on top. Now, the best place to prop it on the blanket is in between this part, between the back of the couch and the top couch cushions. Remember, keep the weight fully in the middle of the blanket. Do not put it on the edge, especially on a couch, because it's slippery and it could slip right out. Mr. or Miss. Propping your blanket in a ceiling or on a wall or any object that you can't just simply put a heavy object on. Tape, that's the key. Wrap the tape around the blanket, which is wrapped around the object. If you're using a thing like a pole, like a fan or something, or if it's the ceiling, tape it. Remember though, tape is a very poor option. If you're cool and have a ceiling like this, you can wedge it into the ceiling like so, and it works amazing. Tape will most likely fall off, but if you have to, use duct tape. One final tip for propping on blankets. This tip is the mother of all tips, the legendary tip. And I'm the only person in the world that I know of that knows it. Are you ready? Focus your mind. Think only the blanket. Only the blanket. Breathe in. Breathe out. And use your telekinesis powers to pin the blanket on any surface. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be wet ice, the ceiling of wet ice, and it will stick no matter what. Are you ready? The location of your fort directly affects what thine fort will look like. The best place, in my opinion, to build forts is where there are couches and or tables, like a living room area, because the tables have space underneath for small rooms or hallways. Also, they are high up to prop up the blankets. The couches too, they are high up to prop up the blankets, plus you can turn the couches into small little crawl spaces. I will show you how to do that as well. Otherwise, bedrooms and even completely empty rooms will work. If your space is blank though, you'll need more materials to prop up blankets, obviously. Okay, the final thing, rooms, tunnels. This is really quite easy. Just use tables, kind of like this little pool table here. You can crawl under it, just place the blankets, just like so. Boom. You got a wall and you got a tunnel to crawl through. Just arrange your furniture however you want it to make hallways, rooms, and it's really that easy. If you want to know more in depth, you will see it in the timeline of me building the legendary Master Fort. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my God. Now, ladies, gentlemen, seniors, and spicy senoritas, the moment you've all been waiting for. Time to see the expert put the tips to the test, so you can see in depth how to get stuff done. Are you ready? This is a semi-completed fort. Now, I'm going to go through some miscellaneous tips real quick. This is the coolest door on earth. You'll see me go through it when I take you through the walkthrough. Also, you saw me build this in the time lapse. If you're small, you can fit through there. That is it. How to make the best, the most legendary blanket forts the universe has ever seen. Remember, choose your location wisely. Tall objects to prop blankets on. Heavily weighted objects to weigh them on top of the blankets. Use tape very wisely. Arrange your blanket propping objects to make your halls and your rooms. Let the blankets hang down a little for walls, and the thing with the couch, that tip is it. The bee's knees to any fort. Last ingredients in the 11 herbs and spices. The treasure at the end of the rainbow. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace.